Hi everyone, I am Prajesh and I am here to explain you about functions. What is a function? A function is a block of code that is executed only when it is called. So basically functions are a code that are declared outside the main function and are executed only when you call the function. This function is used whenever there is a requirement of the same block of code to be executed in multiple parts of a program. Thus, if a function is declared beforehand, then it can be called whenever needed. So we can prevent the repetition of codes. Why should we use a function? The necessity of a function occurs in a program when the same block of code needs to be executed multiple times but with different inputs. If it is going to be the same input, we can use for loop or any type of loop. But if the input or other things are changing, we can use a function so that we can use different inputs and other stuffs. Types of function. Functions can be differentiated into two types based on their origin. First as built-in function and second as user-defined functions. Built-in function. These types of functions are already written and debugged and stored in the library files of Python. So if you want to use this function, you can just call these with their keyword. This function need not to be declared by the user. So they can just call this function whenever they need this function in their program. Examples of built-in functions are input function. This function is used to prompt the values input from the user. If you want a value that should be entered by the user, then you can use the input function. Next, the int function. The int function returns the integer value of the given value. If you give a value of other type and use the int function, it will return the value as integer value. Next, len function. The len of function gives the length of the given object. So if you give a string, then the len of function will return the length of the string. That is the number of character present in that string. Max of function. It returns the largest value of the given object. For example, you have given a list of integer values and you use max of function. Then it returns the largest number in the list. The same goes for min of function. It returns the smallest value in the object. If you give a list of numbers, the min function will return the smallest value in the list. POW of function. It actually takes two values x and y. It returns the value of x to the power of y. If you give x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 2, it will return as 4. That is 2 power 2. Range of function. It is usually used to return a sequence of numbers starting from 0 and incremented by 1. You can declare the n value, also the start value, and even if you want, you can declare the incremented value as 1, 2, 3 or whatever you like. Use the define function. These are the functions that are declared and created by the user. That is, the name and the functionality of the function is declared by the user. So these functions are defined before calling them. This function can be declared with or without return type, that is of the user's wish. Also, the arguments are also determined by the user. The user can either define arguments or else did not define arguments or else use arbitrary arguments, that is of their wish. How to declare a function in Python? A function in Python can be declared using the keyword def. There are three steps for function using a function: function declaration, function definition, and function call. In the function declaration, you will enter the type of the function, the keyword, the name of the function, and the parameters if any are there. You need to declare a function before you can define it. So in function definition, you will enter the body of the function, that is the block of code that need to be executed when the function is called. That is what you should enter in the function definition. In function call, we give the value to the function, that is we give the value to the arguments. So when the function call is executed, that is only when the function will execute. So during the function call, we will give the values for the arguments if there are any. Now we'll see an example for function in Python. We'll start with built-in function. Now I am going to write a simple program to get a number and print the number. First, I am using the int function in order to get the integer value. Then I am using the input function in order to get the input value from the user. Here I am giving the prompt string to print during the execution of the input statement. Enter the value. Now, after getting the value, it will be stored in M. The value that have been entered by the user will get stored in M. Then, using the print function, I am going to print the value in the variable M. Now, I am going to enter the value as 10. So, the value have been printed as 10. So, the input function, int function and print function, all these built-in functions are used like this. Now we'll see an example for user-defined function. To create, now I am going to create a program to add two numbers. First, I am going to create a function named add. I am going to use the def keyword and give the name of the function as add, and give x and y as the parameters of the function. Now inside the body of the function, I am going to do the sum of the two numbers and print the value. I am going to use the print statement, and inside the statement I am going to give the sum is and give x plus y. The body of the function is now done. Now I am going to call the function by using the function call. I am going to give a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. Now I am going to call the function using its name add, and inside the function I am going to give the parameters a and b. Now the a and b is when I give the run option, the a and b is considered as x and y. So x is equal to 10 and y equal to 20 is assigned, and the function is going to perform the sum. So when I click run, the sum is 30. So now the function adds the 10 and 20 and print the sum value as 30. I hope you now understand what is a function and what are the types of function and how to use a function in a Python program. Thank you.